So I'm so sorry that my connectivity this afternoon just wasn't up to it, but I'm really pleased to be able to post a short reflection on this afternoon's Burn Brighter event. What a fantastic collaboration, a collection of speakers united in their passion to want to do something to make our schools the best they can possibly be. I heard so many words this afternoon and so much resonates with me. As the CEO of the Chartered College of Teaching, I very much hope that we will be able to work with you. We have a Future of Teaching campaign throughout this whole year. We have a platform if you're not a member of the Chartered College and you don't want to join, although why would you not want to? We have a platform called the Education Exchange where we can share some of these ideas and these views, and I very much hope that colleagues will wish to do that. But the kinds of words I heard this afternoon were to do with happiness, the importance of happiness for our children and young people, and of course for our staff. And what can we do about that? How can we make sure that we do something about making sure that our young people are more fulfilled in their lives? Because we know that at the moment, everything that we hear in terms of the stats across Europe show us that they're not. I heard about the importance of avoiding deficit terms like catch up and thinking much more about what can we do to make sure that every moment of learning is relevant and purposeful and meaningful for youngsters. I heard about the joy of young people returning to school and how much they were loving being back in the classroom and how much teachers want to be with them and want to be teaching and how exhausting but very, very important that is. I also heard about the importance of trust. And I've talked about trust a lot in my career with the work I've done on Learning Without Limits. How can we make sure that not only that children can trust us, but that we can trust children? But more widely, how do we make sure that we start to build more trust in our profession? And I believe that through the work that we're doing with the Chartered College of Teaching, this is about building a much greater sense of a plurality of voices where we listen. We don't all have to agree, but that we trust each other as professionals and we share our ideas in a way that is respectful and helpful to everybody. Because the more we can do that, the more people listen. Many people have said to me over the last couple of weeks how much more prevalent the Chartered College has become and how my voice has been noticed and people are noticing that we're speaking up about things. We can speak up because we have so many more members. The more people who join us, the more we create a groundswell of professionalism that is important to express. Because when I'm speaking on behalf of our members, and we have tens of thousands of members now. So please do think about joining if you're not a member already. Because ultimately, the profession, we are the ones who know what's best in our classrooms. We're the ones who can engage with the research, who we can go beyond intuition to make sure that our intuition is informed by evidence so that we can really provide the best possible opportunities in our classrooms and that we move from what Robin Alexander calls recipe to repertoire. This is exactly what we need. We need to be able to move beyond doing what we think is the right thing to do and constantly looking over our shoulders and moving much more to an expert repertoire that is not driven by fear, it's not driven by someone else's expectations, it's driven by our own intrinsic expectation to do the best we possibly can for every young person. And then I heard a lot about this notion of professionalism this afternoon and equally about the great worry that the pandemic has really brought into the spotlight, which is that of inequity in our society. We've probably always known about this, but I think with the incidents around greater awareness of the importance of more diversity, with the awareness around the digital divide, looking at homelessness, there are all kinds of things that have really come to light over the last number of months. And I think the whole of society is much more aware of the problems of inequity. And alongside that, the problems of our environment and how we do something to try to make a difference there. So there are so many huge problems. But as I said most recently, I tried to communicate with members via email and through social media and so on, We can't always do something immediately about the big issues, but we can always do something that makes a difference in our own sphere of influence with the people that we're with. So kindness, patience, trying to understand somebody else's point of view, all of these things really matter. Now, I hope that you've been inspired by the events of this afternoon and by the wonderful work that Flora has done by pulling this event together, this new initiative, Burn Brighter. I was certainly really fascinated by so many of the contributions. But also this week, I've had the great honour and privilege of meeting one of my heroes. And that is, I met Kate Clanchy, the teacher and poet. And this morning in the post, a book arrived that she sent me very kindly. And I just want to share with you a poem from that book. These poems are written by young people. And this particular poem is about an experience of lockdown. So if I can just share that with you. It's called These Months. Will we talk about the claps or the muffled cries or the way the sky felt heavier? Will we tell them how hard it was to fold the pages of these months and not see blood on our hands? When they ask us about these months, how will we find the right pictures to show them how the world suddenly felt so transparent? This is by Amani Khan. What are we going to do to make sure that the things that were revealed to us during the pandemic don't lose their transparency? What are we going to do to really respond to the ideas, the beliefs, the passions that we heard about this afternoon? What are we going to do? Well, I hope that what we're going to do is we're going to collaborate, we're going to join together, we're going to pull in as many voices as we can. This is not about one worldview, this is not about politics, this is about going beyond all of that. This is about our children and our futures. So I thank every person who was there today, and I thank you for engaging with this video, and I look forward to continuing the conversation. So thank you very much. Thank you, Flora. Thank everyone. We all need to burn brighter.